And welcome everybody to this week's exciting episode.
The milk steak, boiled over hard, and a side of your finest jelly beans, raw. There you go, 100 points for that one.
I'm thinking that show might be quite popular.
It is, and I think the milk steak gives it away.
The milk steak definitely gives it away.
It's good stuff. I think people like that. But we've got to get to 1,000 points of quickly. So
we still got to give away like another 400 points?
That one's 100 pointer. That should bring it up to 600 points. And I have been keeping an eye on the Spotify.
I know you have, yeah. You replied to someone.
I have, yeah. Thank you for all the support and much love, you know.
We'll let you go and find Josh's personal response to that particular comment.
Yeah. I mean, haters gonna hate, and sometimes all they need is a bit of love in their life.
In fairness, we did have a defender that actually came on before you did and was like, "What, you're necking?"
Yeah,
that was cool. I like that. We've got an army now.
That is nice. I did have the same thought where when someone's hating on the podcast, and then it's got to the level now where we've got a fair few followers that they're kind of defending us. I was like, you know what? Thank you to those guys that keep doing that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
we don't often get proper haters, but when we do, it's a doozy, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just actually funny watching all you guys at home just like attacking the haters.
Yeah,
it's been brilliant. I've noticed it a few times now, and it's just funny. People come along and go, "Oh no, it's not my cup of tea," and then it's just like, well, "What are you still doing here then?"
Yeah.
Why are you leaving a comment?
I love it.
Go away, Pitter.
We've not only have they eaten sour grapes, but what I love about it is the fact that we have kind of wasted their time twice. So they've had to...
once listening the episode.
Yeah, and then the second one of taking the time to write a negative comment. It's like, it's cool. It's a win-win for us.
What's even better, just one step further, is when they actually try and like be like rude, like nasty to us.
Yeah.
You know,
threatening
and stuff like that, and they're using swear words and stuff like that. And then Spotify won't actually publish it. Yeah. I have to review and authorize those comments to be published.
Yeah.
And if they're just out and out, oh, you guys are beep, 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 you know, and I'm just like, delete.
Yeah.
Now I've wasted even more of your time, and no one even knows about it.
Yep. So it's good stuff. It's all positive. We're not fussed. It's like, I actually feel sorry for trolls in a way, because it's like they've got nothing else going on that they just have to leave comments and things. And it's like, but we've got enough listeners and people that are positive. It kind of outweighs the negative, so it doesn't really bother me. It's just funny when we see it.
I know it is. I always wonder if the trolls, like the people who are leaving nasty comments, are like maybe other creators that aren't doing as well.
I think it's just bitter
maybe it's
people.
Jealousy,
really
do you think it is just a consumer that has found something that they don't like and just want to be really vocal about it?
I think it's a combination of things. I think that's
50-50,
right.
I
think there's probably people that just don't have much going on, or they just don't. I don't know. Maybe they just love to hate. Like they get some people get like a rise from it, of being like a troll and.
Yeah, I guess they feel like empowered by it or something. They're like, oh, I've got to put a comment out there, and that's my opinion, and I'm a rock to stand on. Yeah,
but just like we voice our opinions on the show, and you know, it's dividing. Some people agree with us, some people disagree. Like everyone's entitled to their own opinion. You know, like in this current age, I'd like to have free speech and be able to say what I like and how I feel, so other people can do the same. If they don't like us, they don't like us. It's
absolutely, fine. But. Fair warning, you F and Jeff all over the comment section.
Yeah.
I'm not going to publish it.
That is fair. Yeah. So
this is a family-friendly comedy podcast. We try to keep it that way.
I
know we're close to the bone.
I encourage it because, like I say, we then waste twice of their time. So if you're a hater and you want to leave a comment, go for it, because you're just wasting your own time. That's what I say.
That's fair. And we've got a small little army of followers that are there prepared to defend us anyway. Even if we don't notice the comment that quickly, there's someone's straight there like that.
Yeah. I have to say,
Motorbikes.
I have been keeping an eye on Spotify, and like I say, I'm trying to give away more than just one T-shirt or prize. I will definitely give away more than one, but there is one person that seems to be on it every single episode. So just a quick shout out to Punky Smurfette.
Yes, yeah.
She has been on it.
Yeah.
And there are a few others that are on it as well, but she's the one person that continuously pops up quite
And
quick.
we assume that is a she,
yeah,
just from the name,
she, her.
Punky Smurfette. We assume.
Or
And
they.
I've just found the list in the back of the book, and we need to put in the last couple of episodes worth of points so that we can keep up with the tally. And we still need to find out that extra 200 points, where that was.
Yeah, that's somewhere. Someone will let us know when the episode
will.
comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, apart from that, we're all there. I'm in my gym gear. I'm ready to go.
Ready to go? Oh, you're off to the gym after this?
I am indeed.
Yeah.
Get that cardio going,
Go for
Know
it.
what I'm saying?
Why not?
Got to stay in shape these days.
Why not? Quick notification, actually, is following on from last week's episode, whether you've listened to it or not. It was the episode about Jesus traveling to Japan.
Yes.
I'm going to say the thumbnail because I'm probably going to use that as the thumbnail. It's not online yet, but I'm going to use the thumbnail design that our own in-house polar bear came up with, which is the Samurai Jesus.
Yeah, he's done a great
design.
job. Great job.
Now, if you just literally looked at the episode and thought that's a cool design, just please know that that's a T-shirt that is already available on our merch store.
Yep.
So you just need to go to paranormalityuk.mymercher something like that. Go through the link tree, and there's a link in the description, and pick yourself one of those awesome T-shirts. I'm not wearing it today, but I've already ordered both of us one. Next episode, hopefully, we'll be in that for those on YouTube, so you can see the design on a T-shirt yourself. But it's such an awesome design. We couldn't resist offending just about everybody by making that a T-shirt design as well.
It's cool. It's groovy. I like it.
It is such a cool design.
You know when you have something in your mind and then you see a design and you're like, oh, that's like 10 times better than what I had in my mind. That was that kind of design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
So you can get a piece of merch from the cancelled episode. Yeah, we went off on one. We got very close to the edge.
We did. And this week, we're kind of following on from that.
Yeah. 2 weeks of being on the edge.
2 weeks of, well, I guess this one isn't quite so on the edge, because this week we're talking about Jerusalem syndrome, which is a scientifically proven mental illness.
Phenomena.
It's a phenomenon. Oh, now everybody listen to this is going to have that stuck in their head all day.
Good.
Why did you do that?
Good. Just creating more haters. All right, so it's an actual phenomenon.
Yeah. So basically, right. Let's go the proper introduction, right? Because here we are. It's the end of the summer. Now, people have been on their summer holidays. They might be thinking about where they want to go next year. Booking that holiday.
Not going to Jerusalem.
Well, why not? You've been all over the world. Why would you not go to the Middle East?
I can't think of a single reason to not go to the Middle East. There's something about that area of the world. No, I'm stuck. Yeah, go on. Please.
Okay, yeah, well,
sell Jerusalem.
Yeah, it's okay. So perhaps you personally don't want to go to a war-torn country, and spend your 2 weeks of holiday getting woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning with But some people like that.
What was that impression? Because we might have to edit that out.
That's the call to prayer.
Okay, that's fine.
That's what it sounds like, or near enough. I don't know what the actual
this isn't
words
gonna
are,
get us
but
in trouble.
that's what it sounds like when it's outside your hotel at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's what it sounds like, and some people enjoy going to places like that.
Okay, are we going to have death threats now because of that?
I hope not. But if you're interested in your history, if you are religious, not just Islam, but Christians and all basically, I mean, it's the cradle of humanity, the Holy Land. It's pretty much where most religions stem from.
Okay, Jesus was born there too, wasn't he?
Jesus was born there. He
Or
was.
that Bethlehem?
Well, he was born in Bethlehem, yeah, but he died in Jerusalem.
Yeah, that's the connection.
But there you go. I mean, this is a tourist hotspot. You can't deny it. There are thousands, probably millions of people that flood there every year just for tourism, just to go there and see it. They read the stories in the Bible. They want to go and see where the Temple Mount is, or Castle Mount, whatever it's called, and the Wailing Wall, and the
ruins.
The actual hill that Jesus died on. Where they put the crosses. You can go and visit these places, and a lot of people, they're not necessarily fanatics, but people who are just interested in their history, or they attend church once a week. Sometimes they want to go there.
Yeah.
They want to have their holiday at a place where they feel closer to God, and there's nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with that at all.
No, nothing wrong with that.
And as I said, like, millions of people go there every year. Some, not all, but a respectable number come down with this case that's known as Jerusalem syndrome. And it was coined, the term Jerusalem syndrome was coined by an Israeli psychiatrist called Heinz Hermann in the 1930s.
Heinz Hermann. That sounds like a made-up, German soldier, doesn't it?
It does. Well, my research said he was an Israeli psychiatrist, but yeah, he does have a very German name. But yeah, in the 1930s, he was treating patients, particularly one woman, I believe it was, that would literally every day take a cup of tea up to Castle Mount and wait for Jesus' return.
She'd be waiting a long time.
Maybe, who knows? We'll address that at the end. But he coined the term Jerusalem syndrome just because, it seemed to be an effect that people have going there. And this is the thing. Like, other cities around the world apparently produce different, emotional effects.
Okay.
When you visit them, whether it's a letdown or whether you're, overjoyed that you're there or whatever, different cities around the world can have different emotional response, but only Jerusalem syndrome seems to be this severe in how it happens. And there are variations in how it happens, but the run-of-the-mill, the classic Jerusalem syndrome, as documented by thousands of cases, goes in 7 stages.
7 stages?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
So let's walk you through the stages.
Please.
Right. So stage 1. Stage 1 of Jerusalem syndrome. You probably don't even know you've got it yet. Right, but you're in Jerusalem. You may be there with your family or just friends, with your loved one, with your partner. And in fact, let's condense this down into a story. Let's put it to a character. Might as well call him Dave, because everybody knows someone called Dave.
That's true.
So you've gone on holiday to Jerusalem with Dave. It's about 2 to 3 days into your holiday.
Yeah.
You've already been around, seen some of the sights, been into the little trinket shops and, probably had bad belly and, christened the porcelain throne a few times.
Yes.
So it wouldn't really be that noticeable or unlikely if you thought that Dave was starting to become a little bit visibly anxious.
Okay.
Yeah.
A bit nervous.
A little bit nervous, a little bit sort of in his own world, a little bit, not necessarily responding immediately or, responding the way that you'd expect him to.
Yeah.
Just a bit anxious, not quite himself. Yeah. But then, maybe a day or two later than that, he enters stage 2, which is where he doesn't want to be around you anymore.
Oh,
Poor
not
Dave.
my Dave.
Dave, he categorically said that he'd rather go off and explore the city on his own.
My Dave wouldn't do that. No way.
No.
But for the story's sake, I'll run with it.
But for the Dave that is now starting to suffer from Jerusalem syndrome, that's what he wants to do. He wants to go off. He wants to explore the sights. He just wants to see. He wants to immerse himself in Jerusalem, in the Holy Spirit, in this holy land, and really let it envelop him. And he doesn't want anybody else in his party or his friends to get in the way of that. So he isolates himself and then just
He's
goes
riding
on
solo.
his own little tour. Yeah.
Okay, he's riding solo. He doesn't want any company.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So imagine this, right? You've all been out for the day. You've been to separate places. You might have even just been around a swimming pool for the day. Slurping on your pina coladas or whatever.
I can tell you that's exactly what I'd be doing if I went to the Middle East.
Exactly.
I
yeah.
wouldn't be leaving that hotel.
No, because you're allowed to drink alcohol in the hotel. But yeah, you might have been doing that, sunning yourself on a sunbed or whatnot. You go back to the rooms, maybe you've got a suite or something like that, and you notice that Dave has already been in the shower 3 times, not just from the heat, but he's constantly cleaning himself at this point. This is stage 3.
Okay. He wants to be clean.
Yeah, trimming his fingernails, trimming his toenails, and he's saying how he needs to be clean so he can purify himself.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a tremendous urge that he's got now, suddenly.
So more of germs kind of thing. He wants to be clean. So is he worried about germs and bacteria?
It's just about the purification process. He wants to make himself pure for the transformation that is happening inside him.
Would he be shaving his whole body?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. You actually find that quite a few of them actually start growing beards.
Oh, okay.
Which we're all for, by the way.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with growing a beard.
Dave, I imagine, can grow a glorious beard.
He ought to be able to grow a glorious beard. If he's going to suffer from this, then it's almost like needed that you can grow
the kind of beard that they grow it and it's thick and black, and for 15 years that you've known Dave, you think he's Greek, but it turns out he's not. He's just British. That kind of thick, powerful beard.
Yeah, that's a powerful beard.
Yeah, that's starting to sound like the Dave I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Dave coming down with this sort of thing. Because, I mean, that was stage 3. And we're not even halfway there yet. But
I mean, he's quite clean anyway, but that's quite excessive to have 3 showers in a day.
I mean, that's the thing. He's going to be showering, and then he's going to want to go out. He doesn't necessarily want to hang out with you. He's going to go out on his own. Stage 4. He's going to be going out on his own, searching for items of clothing or something that he can manage to fashion into an old-fashioned robe. And so he might go around the markets, because I'm sure there's like attire that you can buy out in Jerusalem, headscarves and that sort of thing that you can buy. Yeah. But Dave doesn't that's not necessarily enough for Dave. He might even end up back in the hotel room stripping the bed sheets off the bed to wrap around himself so he can fashion himself a Jesus-style robe. Maybe even a shower curtain.
Yeah.
I mean, underneath, I'm sure he's got a Samurai Jesus T-shirt on, because that's just going to bring him that step closer. But he's going to be robbing your bed sheets so that he can dress up like an old-time biblical person.
Okay. Yeah.
And that then, once he's managed to find his costume, brings him into stage 5.
Can I just say, at this point of stage 4, doesn't sound too bad of a holiday.
It's not too bad, no.
I've had worse holidays. So far, I mean, just to recap, right? So what's the first day? You just...
Anxious.
Visibly anxious. I'm
then
anxious anyway.
Wanting to go off on your own.
Yeah, I quite like being a lone wolf.
Being excessively clean. Trimming your fingernails and your toenails. And
I like to be clean, and sometimes I have 2 showers a day.
Probably even picking your nose or something like that. I don't know.
Sometimes.
Purifying.
So,
then...
Picking your nose, so what's the point in... I think with picking your nose...
I think it's best to do that before you trim your fingernails.
Well, I was going to say, some people grow their pinky nails, don't they, for things?
Just specially to pick their nose?
I think so. But with our job, sometimes we end up with a lot of stuff in our nose.
Yeah,
with
in a
dust
dusty
and things.
environment. Yeah.
So sometimes picking your nose is necessary.
It is.
Again, what's stage 4
Yeah,
again?
no, I'm not saying don't pick your nose. If it's blocked up there, just do it. Just do it.
And what's stage 4
Stage
again?
4 was searching for things and making a robe, ancient attire, clothing that you can dress up as if you were someone from the ancient Holy Land. And then that leads you straight into stage 5, which is where you really, this is the thing. Probably the hotel staff are now looking at you thinking,
right,
we're going to have to make a phone call here.
Wow, that leapt from stage 4 to 5.
Because from stage 4, once you've started dressing up like you're Jesus or whatever, now in stage 5, you're leaving your hotel room. You're going out into the street.
Yep.
And now Dave is publicly shouting Bible verses that he's probably getting wrong. Probably actually the one from Pulp Fiction that, what's his name?
Marcel?
No, Jules.
Jules?
Yeah. Samuel L. Jackson. You remember?
Oh,
And I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Yeah.
That's probably the one Bible verse that everybody knows because they've seen Pulp Fiction. But he'll be getting it wrong.
Yeah.
And probably singing some hymns as well, and just generally feeling like he's getting, he's one with God now. The transformation is nearly complete.
Who's the other one? Because it's going to bug me. Is it Lance?
Vince Vega.
Vince Vega, Jules. Marcel's
Marcellus Wallace.
He is in it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, right, I'm with you. I had to clear that up.
This isn't a podcast about Pulp Fiction. I was just using Pulp Fiction because generally, people who haven't read the Bible, such as yourself, are more likely to know that particular Bible verse. And if you were going to come down with Jerusalem syndrome, I would imagine that you're going to dress up in a bedsheet and go around the streets of Jerusalem reciting the verse from Pulp Fiction rather than going to find a Bible.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. But also, I have OCD, so if I can't remember something, I'm not going to be listening to you. I have to go back.
Oh, right, yeah, you had to clear that out of your head.
I had to clear out who the how the characters were in my head. Otherwise, you're going to carry on stage 6 and 7. And I'm just going to be sat there thinking, who's John Travolta in?
Vincent Vega. Okay,
so
that's fair.
Right, we've cleared that up. Right. He's
So,
left the hotel. He's speaking Bible verses.
Yeah, he's out in the public now, speaking Bible verses. And at this point, stage 6 is where he is going to be wandering around the city, seeking out one of Jerusalem's many, many holy sites. There are lots of them. So that he can roll straight into stage 7, the final act, where he actually is going to stand there and deliver a sermon to everybody that's there. Anybody that'll listen, complete strangers, he'll be going straight up in their faces, telling them how they are a sinner and how they need to reform their ways, get baptized, come to Jesus, all this sort of thing. Some people even actually think they are the second coming, or that they are a character from the Bible. I suppose character's the wrong word because they were people, aren't they? But, a person from the Bible.
Tomato.
Yeah. But yeah, all the famous characters in the Bible, some people actually believe that they are these historical people.
Yeah. Moses.
Yeah, that sort of thing, yeah.
Isaiah, Ezekiel.
Isaiah, yeah.
All of these people.
Daniel.
Yeah. There's quite a few. Okay.
And that's their holiday.
So what would you say is I'm guessing you've not been to Jerusalem. So
No, never. No.
But would you happen to know what the most famous place is in Jerusalem where most of these things happen? Is it the hill that he had the cross?
I don't think there's a most famous place where things happen. They just seem to happen all over it. Residents of Jerusalem, like the hotel staff and that sort of thing, people who work with tourists, are used to this happening now.
Really? It's that often?
It's that often, in varying degrees of severity. But yeah, it happens so often that the hotel staff, porters and whatnot, will have the local mental health institute on speed dial.
That's interesting.
Because this happens. The thing is, generally speaking, it's temporary. People only have to leave Jerusalem and go home, and they're instantly cured. They don't no longer think that they're the Messiah or the second coming or anything like that. It's literally just, as soon as they get on a plane and they're out of there, suddenly they're like, why the hell am I wearing white robes? And what am I doing with this long fake beard? Why are you calling me Jesus? You know?
That is odd.
But it happens. I'll give you a couple of examples. I'm not going to name names, but there was a guy from Austria who was a chef. He actually one day walked straight into the hotel lobby. I don't know if it was the hotel where he was staying, but he walked into a hotel lobby claiming to be the chosen one and demanded to be taken into the kitchen of the hotel restaurant so that he could cook the Last Supper before the Armageddon arrived.
Right. Okay. I mean, historically, the Last Supper did happen.
Yeah, exactly. People who think that they're the second coming or whatever, the chosen one, are going to want to do that. But it's actually amazing how many people with Jerusalem syndrome lean on that whole Armageddon prophecy type thing. They want to do something before Armageddon comes, before Armageddon.
Yeah, that's always a recurring thing with extreme religious people.
I'll give you another one. Just an American man. Again, I'm not going to name names, but he was convinced that he was Samson the strong man from the Old Testament of the Bible, and he, while on holiday, tried to remove a massive stone, like the building blocks that you see, they're probably like a ton each or something like that. And he decided to try and remove it from the Wailing Wall, which is one of the religious sites that from ancient texts and that. Yeah, and he was literally trying to dig it out of the wall with his bare hands because he believed he was Samson the strong man.
I'm guessing he didn't get very far.
No, I don't think he did. No, he probably got arrested and, again, put in an insane asylum. In 1969... an Australian man, I think I can actually, this one has actually been publicly revealed, so I can say his name was Dennis Rohan.
Oh, okay.
Right. He believed, after visiting the city, that he had been given a mission from God to clear the entire city of Jerusalem of abominations.
That doesn't sound very positive.
It doesn't sound positive.
No.
Now we're starting to see how Jerusalem syndrome can take a darker turn. Okay? So yeah, he needed to cleanse the entire city for what he believed was the second coming, imminent arrival, yeah, in 1969.
That sounds like a serial killer.
And one morning, he decided to set fire to the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which is one of Islam's most sacred sites. And he managed it.
That's not...
He burned it down.
Something that's been around thousands of years?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Life in prison.
Quite possibly, yeah. He's probably still locked up. Basically, riots started all over the city. They spread out of the city. They spread across the entire Middle East. As far as India, people were rioting about the fact that the Al-Aqsa Mosque had been burnt down. That's how sacred this site is. Millions of people rioting. And he obviously ended up in a psychiatric hospital.
You got off quite lucky then.
Probably the Kafar Shawl Mental Health Care Centre, because that is the local mental health care centre to Jerusalem, which basically means that most of the people who are criminally diagnosed with Jerusalem syndrome, like this guy, will end up there and you don't know if they're ever going to get out of there.
Okay. I've already seen a little bit of a weird flaw in a way.
Okay, go for it.
So, most of these things have been tourists.
Yes.
So, how come the people living there don't have this thing? Or do they have it quite often? Of people growing up there? And
I've not heard reports of people who actually live there and have lived all their lives in that
Yeah.
region. It mostly is tourists. I will get to that a little bit more later on. I've just got one more story,
Okay.
tragic story
Oh, no.
of Jerusalem syndrome. This is about as kind of dark as it gets, really. A poor lad, a British tourist called Oliver McAfee, who's on a cycling holiday, and he wanted to do a trip around the Negev desert. Yeah,
Okay.
off he went on his own little cycling holiday. Possibly weeks later, hikers found his tent, his wallet, his laptop, a trail of Bible pages, and some handwritten notes referencing the story of Jesus going into the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights. Jesus went out into the desert for 40 days and 40 nights and then came back. Obviously fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, didn't have any food or water. And
Well, that's not going to go well.
Oliver referenced that as possibly his intentions for what he was doing. He's still missing. Body's never been found. It's assumed that it was Jerusalem syndrome that, made him want to go and do that.
Yeah. So still to this day, he's just not been found.
Never been found.
Okay.
No, poor guy. I mean, that is the dark side of Jerusalem syndrome. Now,
So odd.
you were asking about locals. Locals, I don't think, seem to suffer from it. Maybe because they're just surrounded by it all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're all a little wacky in Jerusalem.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, I wouldn't say that. But no, there was a guy, again, another psychiatrist or something like that, as some kind of scientist. I wanted to call him but I looked it up and it's pronounced Yair.
Mm-hmm.
Yair Bar-El is a psychiatrist. Now, he proposed that Jerusalem syndrome mainly happens to people who already have an underlying mental illness.
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, they did like a kind of an experiment throughout the 80s and the early 90s, and they found that out of the, hundreds or, thousands of people that experienced Jerusalem syndrome, only something like 42 of them were just regular people, tourists, with no underlying mental conditions at all.
Mm.
So, it still does affect just a handful of people, vulnerable people or whatever, maybe, insecure or whatever, and in their own body. But yeah, generally people who he discovered who already have underlying mental conditions are more likely to suffer from Jerusalem syndrome. Mm-hmm. This was especially apparent in the lead up to Y2K, the year 2000.
Yeah.
Now, you remember everybody thought the Armageddon was going to happen at the year
Millennium
2000,
bug.
the Millennium Bug, all that sort of thing. You can imagine the droves of weirdos wanting to head to Jerusalem for the Armageddon that they all believed that was going to happen. The Israeli military had to put the Al-Aqsa Mosque on high alert because they were fully believed that someone was going to try and burn it down again.
Okay.
They were proper, all motions on, all hands on deck sort of thing. Like, it really went crazy in 1999, leading up to that year 2000
I can say
spill.
that.
And you can imagine it though, can't you? Like, the amount of people out there all over the world. I don't know how many Christians there are in the world. I think it is one of the biggest religions. I think we're talking 100 million people, or at least. You know, a percentage of them are going to have a couple of screws loose.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah?
yeah.
I'm not saying everybody,
Sure.
but, a percentage of them are going to have a significant screw loose.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that were just like, we got to get to Jerusalem, And it was absolute carnage for the Israelis. Literally just trying to fend off their poor city from all these people that believed that they were the second coming, all trying to do the right thing, when really the right thing is to do nothing.
Yeah. And them locking them up and putting them in mental institutes is worsening the problem because they just need to leave.
Yeah,
Basically.
kind of. Yeah. If they kick them out and stick them on a plane, chances are they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Which is a weird thing. I mean, this is the thing. It is such a weird thing that obviously Jerusalem being one of the most holy sites in the world, internationally recognised as, the cradle of humanity, the birth of Christianity and Islam and, so many other religions all come from like the same area of the world.
A lot of Jesus activities.
Yeah. I mean, is there something supernatural to this? It doesn't happen anywhere else. You don't go to Australia, you go to Sydney and think, yeah, I'm going to be an Aborigine for the next 2 weeks. Do you? I mean, why is it Jerusalem that has this effect on people when nowhere else in the world seems to have it?
I think I have an answer.
You can go to Egypt and you don't go around with like blue and gold headdress on pretending that you're a pharaoh.
I think I have an answer, but no one's going to like it.
Go on then.
I think that with religion, there is a side to it where you get crazy fanatic people.
Yes, right? Definitely.
If you are, I mean, it doesn't have to be America. If you're American, British, wherever. It doesn't
wherever
matter.
You're from, yeah.
Europe.
Antarctica.
Yeah. If you really, really believe in something to the point where you are already kind of having a knowledge on the Bible and the religion, I think it goes to what you first said, where if you go there to these places that they just make you feel different, you probably get caught up in it. And if they're already mentally unstable a little bit, or it could just be a breakdown where...
It very much could be.
Imagine, so the way I see it is, imagine if all my life I wanted to be a Jedi. Right.
Yeah.
This is just bear with me because this is a comparison I'm trying to make here, just to try and make it a bit clearer in my own mind. My parents were Jedis. They wanted me to be a Jedi. They handed me the Jedi scrolls. I studied every day, and I was adamant. I went to school and people told me Jedis weren't real, and I was like, no, I'm still going to follow it. I'm still going to become a Jedi. One day, I'm going to spread the word of the Jedi.
And I'll be doing backflips everywhere.
Nothing wrong with that, right? Now imagine my whole life it's just building up and building up and building up. And then I find out, well, I've been taught all my life that Galaxy's Edge at the Disney Resort in Florida is the peak of all Star Wars fans. Right, if you go to this place, you can build lightsabers, you can ride the Millennium Falcon, everything that a Jedi would want to do is in this one place,
Yeah.
And I get there, and I arrive, and I get everything that I've been told for all those years. I'm going to lose my... I'm literally going to be like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm so passionate about Star Wars, obviously, that when it gets to that certain point and it's the build up, and you get to that one place, of course you're going to go nuts. I wouldn't know where to start. But like, do I build a droid? Do I make a lightsaber? And before you know it, I'm naked running around the resort shouting how I love Star Wars.
My name's Luke.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So that's the way I kind of put it together in my mind, where it's like the religious fanatics, this is their holy grail. This is the place that they want to go and visit and see things. And when they get there, maybe they just have this overwhelming thing of maybe they belong, or this is where they're supposed to be. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Like that unity sort of, I'm here in the Holy Land. This is where I'm meant to be. Maybe, maybe just a little bit of unhingedness in the brain just tips them over the edge, and they actually end up thinking there's Samson the strong man, or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, before we put it to the paranormality scale, I just got a couple of mentions of pop culture.
Oh, did it pop culture?
The Jerusalem Syndrome has been featured in The Simpsons, unsurprisingly.
Lizard King with Lisa?
Nope. It was
Okay.
an episode called The Greatest Story Ever Told, where Homer suffers from Jerusalem Syndrome.
Yes, he
Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
I do remember that one.
There was also a TV show back in the 90s called Michael Moore's TV Nation. I think it was an American TV show, although maybe it was a British one, because Louis Theroux was on it. He was he was an investigator that actually went to the Holy Land to investigate the Jerusalem Syndrome, and he actually met some people that would basically give up on their lives. You know, they were just like plumbers or heating engineers or, you know, car salesmen or whatever, and they've gone out to Jerusalem, got completely ensconced in this Jerusalem Syndrome, believe that this is the life that they're supposed to be living, and now him and his wife and his 2 kids are living in a tent on top of a hill outside of Jerusalem, waiting for the freaking Armageddon again.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to be waiting for the Armageddon.
It's quite sad, really.
But yeah, I mean, that's just a couple of mentions in pop culture. You put in Jerusalem Syndrome on Google, you're going to get inundated by stories of it. There's ridiculous numbers of stories on there. There's lots and lots of stuff on YouTube about Jerusalem Syndrome. But I just wanted to cover it this week as an extension to your Samurai Jesus episode last week.
Yeah.
And, you know, because the Holy Land, you know, that's where Jesus was meant to be. I know he's badass as a samurai.
He is.
But
he is.
in Jerusalem, anyone can be Jesus.
Yeah.
So let's put that one to the scale.
I mean, I imagine it does mainly happen in Jerusalem. But I have heard of stories of this kind of thing happening elsewhere in the world, where people just have a breakdown and they just think that they are Jesus, or the rapture is coming. That's the one you hear a lot, isn't it? The rapture is coming.
Yeah. I'm not sure that's so
locusts.
much of just like from visiting a locale as it is from being brainwashed by weird cults and stuff, though, perhaps.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's not about the Jerusalem thing, but you have people that are like so fanatic about their religion that they are kind of blindsided. They're like when you're just zoned in on something.
Single-minded, yeah.
They just start building bunkers and things like that, and you're like, damn, okay. As far as Jerusalem goes, I mean, Stockholm Syndrome's a thing. That has actually been proven, isn't it?
Yeah, Stockholm Syndrome is a little bit different, though. That's having
not from the
feelings
same as
towards when you're captive.
Yeah, I know
you
it
end up
is,
with
but it's very
feelings towards
similar, isn't it?
Captor.
When you're talking about, because it's all part of the brain, isn't it? So you've got
I suppose, yeah,
Stockholm Syndrome, Jerusalem Syndrome. It's all within the brain.
It's in the brain,
So,
yeah.
but all I was saying was Stockholm Syndrome is a thing. Like,
Yes.
it's been proven. So there's no reason why
So is
Jerusalem...
Paris Syndrome and Florence Syndrome, I think, something like
Yeah.
that.
So there are different syndromes for different locations and things and what happens mentally.
But none are so severe as Jerusalem.
No.
It seems to be... Jerusalem does seem to have like, this just magical charm over people that go there. And, yeah, some of them just get snared up and believe that they are a big biblical character.
I might cover Stockholm Syndrome next week. So then it's like it's a continuation. So you've got starting off with Samurai Jesus, and then you've gone Jerusalem Syndrome, and then I've gone Stockholm Syndrome. And then to complete it full circle, you need to find the Swedish equivalent of Jesus to complete this 4-episode circle.
Why Swedish?
Because Jesus, Jerusalem.
Are we travelling in a straight line or something here?
No, Jesus, Jerusalem,
Stockholm.
Swedish.
Sweden. Okay, fair enough.
Stockholm's in Sweden,
some
isn't
Swedish folklore or something.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Then we bring it full circle. Jerusalem Syndrome. What a crazy bunch of nutbags. All right.
What do you think? Has it got any paranormality to its nature, or do you think it is just a chemical imbalance in the brain that makes people believe that they're something that they're not.
I don't want to get in trouble, so I'm not going to give the whole speech of like, I don't believe in religion, so therefore the land is just normal land. If that's what you believe, that's what you believe. I don't think the actual place is paranormal. I think
But it seems to have an effect on people.
I think it does have an effect on people. I just think it comes down to fanatics and that kind of whatever it is, 2% of people that go there, they're obsessed with it. It is freaky though. It is freaky.
It is
It's a
pretty.
tough
It is.
one.
It is very strange how so many. It's quite consistent. I mean, there are variations in it. Obviously, we've seen like the guy that thought he was Samson or whatever, tried to pull a block out of a wall. Not everybody does that, but a lot of people do. They experience the anxiety. They want to get closer to, I guess, to the Holy Land and to the Bible, the historic Bible, by dressing up in the robes and going around and doing their Sermon on the Mount or whatever,
Yeah.
and just generally making trouble and making a spectacle of themselves.
It's a tough one to mark, to grade, to score. It really is. It's definitely getting more than a 6 because it has happened. There are stories of it. It's a thing. It can't get more than a 9.
Okay, well,
Somewhere
I'm
in
sitting
between.
around about 8 as well, to be honest. If that's what you were thinking, I was thinking about 8 with Jerusalem Syndrome because I like it. I wouldn't like to experience it. I don't think I would experience it though, because I'm not that fanatical about like the Bible and that. So I'm a little bit knowledgeable, maybe I guess, because of my family heritage and whatnot. But Jerusalem is not somewhere that I plan to go on holiday, so it won't happen to me anyway.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel sorry for the people it does happen to. Or do I feel sorry for them? I mean, should we feel sorry for them?
It's so hard because I don't know if it is just a breakdown. I don't.
Because that's the thing. According to like Louis Theroux and that in that TV and the pop culture section, like some of them just stay out there and they're living their best lives. They're happy like that. You know, it's like the people who seek out gurus and whatnot out in Asia, and you know they're seeking enlightenment, and they just go to some weird little cult camp and live the rest of their life saying Hare Krishna under their breath. You know, it's a similar thing, isn't it? If you're happy in that life, then
I mean, I've got a friend
Go
who
for it.
literally just breaks the norm. He doesn't bother with society really. Like he does yoga. Him and his wife travel between here, Brazil, and Portugal.
yeah, Dave,
yeah. Like
is it Dave? Sorry,
No,
I
it's
was
not
going to say.
No, but he doesn't really like. He doesn't watch TV or nothing. Like he's always doing something. He's at one with nature, himself, inner peace, all of that. He's a bit hippie.
Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, he loves it. So it's a tough one. I'm gonna stop messing around. I'm gonna give it a 7.5, just in between.
All right. Well, I'm going to go for a flat 8, so that'd be a 7.75 then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. Really gets your brain thinking, but at the same time, I'm like, my logical part of my brain is I just keep thinking like mental breakdown.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because I just think of the example that I came out with, and I just think if I was that, I'm trying to put myself into that position and replace Star Wars with religion, and I know for a fact if there was some holy grail of like Star Wars land, I would lose my ball back. Like,
Yeah. Well, I'm going to finish it off by just saying quite an old saying, actually, well-known one, is if you're talking to God,
right.
you're praying.
If
If you find that God is talking to you, you're nuts.
Oh, I like that. Okay, I wasn't sure where you were going.
It's an old saying.
What was that again? If you're talking
to God, you're praying. If God's talking to you, you're nuts.
You know what? You could have just avoided this whole episode by saying that at the very start, and I would have agreed with you.
Yeah, but then we wouldn't have had an entire episode then, would we? And until next week, I've been Pyrus.
I'm Jesus.
Okay. This has been Paranormality. Go get yourself a Samurai Jesus t-shirt. Till next time, ta-ta.
Ta-ta.